съёбал. Ой, я убил его, стой.
Что?
Стой. А он хуёво сидит, стой.
This is HVH, also known as Hack versus Hack, a space where Counter-Strike is transformed into a playground of coded warfare. It's a realm where players test their skills not just in strategy, but in manipulating the game itself through scripts and exploits. For those on the outside, it might look like chaos, but for those within, it's a competitive art form with its own set of rules and challenges. In this documentary, we dive deep into the evolving world of HVH, particularly with the release of Counter-Strike 2. We explore the changing landscape, the challenges faced by cheat developers, and the ethics behind this contentious practice. Later, we feature an exclusive interview with a well-known cheat developer from one of the most prominent cheat providers in the game. But securing an interview wasn't as straightforward as you might think. After countless attempts and repeated refusals, only one person finally agreed to share their perspective. But what exactly goes on in the shadowy world of HVH? How are cheats created? Stick around, because what we are about to uncover might just challenge everything you know about the world of HVH. As Counter-Strike 2 launched, the HVH community experienced a seismic shift. The once collaborative world of free and open source cheat development has now become a fiercely guarded domain, dominated by paid-to-cheat providers. Larger pay-to-cheat groups gatekeep features, creating an exclusive market that's nearly impossible for smaller developers to enter. How do you see the HVH community evolving, especially with the release of CS2? Has there been a shift in the types of cheats used in HVH matches?
The gap between the free cheat community and the pay-to-cheat community has widened significantly, especially with the release of Counter-Strike 2. Information on bypassing the anti-cheat system or creating rage feeds is now heavily guarded by other pay-to-cheat providers. Larger pay-to-cheat communities mutually gatekeep the features, so they're making it nearly impossible for smaller cheats to compete.
What are the most effective methods for evading detection by Valve's anti-cheat systems, and how do you stay ahead of updates?
So Valve's true approach to anti-cheat remains a mystery, so I prefer to not make any assumptions. What I can confirm is that on the client side, Valve employs modules that can block simple internal and external cheats. These modules are relatively easy to bypass with enough time and effort. Even when cheats don't trigger bans, it doesn't mean they're undetected. Valve often detects the cheats, collects data on them, and may not act immediately. They usually do a thing called a back wave where many players get banned at once. Recently they've added more server-side anti-cheat technologies, but it's still too early to see its full impact.
Can you explain how the cheating meta changes with game updates? Do you put new patches, and does it push developers towards certain types of cheats?
So the subtext system is the only reason why we have all of the new exploits. It's very flawed, and there are a lot of obvious mistakes made by Valve that allow us to do pretty funny stuff only with the help of subtext. These types of exploits didn't exist in CSGO at all, such as, the instant air acceleration, removing accuracy penalties altogether.
What is your perspective on the ethics of cheating, especially considering HVH versus casual play? Is there like an unspoken code of conduct within the HVH community?
Many cheaters still prefer to play on official servers, which means legitimate players often have to endure the HVH matches because they can't compete in them. Personally, I think cheaters should use dedicated HVH servers, but most of the time cheaters don't really care about how they affect legitimate players.
How does CS2's new engine affect cheat development? Have you noticed new opportunities or restrictions in creating exploits?
So CS2's new engine has opened up opportunities for cheat developers because many bugs and exploits are yet to be discovered. For example, the rapid fire and no spread exploits were major issues.
So let me explain how rapid fire works. A Glock, for example, has 20 bullets in the chamber. It would take 20 shots to empty your mag. But with rapid fire, you can empty all your bullets in your mag in 1 second. Pay attention to the number of bullets in your gun. This exploit works with any weapon in the game, even your knife.
allow players to empty a magazine within a second and still maintain perfect accuracy even in midair. These exploits were passed by Valve, but showcased the potential for new vulnerabilities. And also during the beta, there was an exploit allowing players to fully rotate their character's pitch and kind of perform backflips.
What are some preventative measures cheat developers take to avoid getting patched out or blacklisted by anti-cheat systems?
One of the things I can talk about is how Valve something scrambles the offset in the game, which are essential for accessing specific memory locations. I'm not really going to go too much in depth, but when these offsets change, cheats become unusable until they're updated with the new offsets. This cat and mouse game between Valve and cheat developers continues, with cheat developers always finding workarounds. In the past, Valve used a system called Overwatch, which would allow players to review demos of reported players and submit their findings.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
As Counter-Strike evolves, so does the relentless chase between innovation and prevention. With every exploit discovered and every countermeasure deployed, the future of this digital battlefield remains uncertain. But one thing is clear, this is far from over. CS2 is just the beginning, a proving ground where ingenuity and competition collide. What comes next is up to those willing to push the limits. And that brings us to the end of this journey into the world of hack versus hack, a realm where innovation, rivalry, and chaos collide. This is HVH, and its story is far from over.